actually was in Rock Hill, South Carolina, when this happened, and I just remember the context of people being upset, the confusion. When you're young, you don't really get the full context, but you know that a lot of people around you are upset. And of course, coming from the South, there was a dichotomy. There were some people that were upset, and there were some people that felt it was justified. And as we look at history, we judge it by its time. And as a man who was, I call Martin Luther, he was at the right time in the right place doing the right thing for the right reason. And when you take on a challenge such as civil rights or any big issue, you're not going to be the most popular kid on the block. But yet he was grounded in certain fundamental principles, which were based upon the writings of David Thoreau, Tolstoy, most importantly, I would say, Mahatma Gandhi and his civil disobedience. And that was such a new concept for taking the Christian principles and actually living them, that it was hard for America to look at and not like, yet dislike him for what he was doing, but not like the man. So probably his most influential work was The Kingdom of God, The Kingdom of Heaven is Within, and that was Tolstoy's writing, and they became longtime friends, for a year after that. That was Gandhi. But you look at the influence of one leader over another leader. So I look at Martin Luther King and his influence today, and the first thing that comes to mind is Willie Anthony, who just received the Sam Noah Award. I was watching it on television when he received it, and when he was thanking Mayor Sori and some of the other council members, he said, I really enjoyed, then he stopped and he says, well, I didn't enjoy it all the time, but I thank you for the opportunity. So the influence of a leader like that is never lost. They may have killed the person, but they didn't kill the ideology. And so its influence, I think Willie Anthony, in terms of a local leader who does the right thing for the right reason, and he's in the right time at the right place because he's really doing what he believes is in the best interest, as do I, for the community. Civil rights is I moved to Naples in '79, so I've been here 33 years, almost 34 years. And the concept of civil rights within the city of Naples, let's put it in the context of the city versus greater Naples. In getting to interview the old-timers and really getting to know them in the last 10 years, let's say, there was a unique relationship between the community and the black community. And so a lot of people think that the River Park Pool was started to keep black children from going to the beach. It wasn't started, it was given as a gift because some people felt bad because of that. That kind of attitude was still pervasive here. Yet, as I said, we judge history by its time, and it is what it is. So the Sample family did it for all the right reasons. As we can see now, that the pool is still intact, nicer than what it was. But sometimes you don't see the impact of leaders like the Sample family until years later. So yes, there was a time when blacks were not allowed to cross 41 and go to the beach. They pretty much ignored that because we have pictures of children playing with white children, and it was like anything. Once you knew somebody, it didn't matter. So it's one of those, as long as human beings are alive, there's always going to be an oppression of one person over the other because that's how we as human beings feel better about who we are. People forget that black men could vote before white women. So I hope the Naples Daily News does something on women when women got the right to vote, because that was another civil disobedience act in August 19th. That's when the amendment, I think, was finally passed. So there. It's got to be hard on a gentleman like that who is so gracious when there's such politics within the city. And he stays in and he does what he can do, and yet still in this world, money rules. and not being in a position to have money, he maybe can't quite get as much as he would like. However, with the new CRA coming up, I hope the River Park area and 10th Street get just a little bit more of that funding than their $200,000 out of $22 million. That would be nice to see. But I have such admiration and respect for him, and I think the whole community does. Just when you see that kind of a leader that comes from such a place of commitment, yet he understands the power dynamics. He doesn't back away, he just stays and he keeps plugging along and plugging along. God bless him. We need more of those kinds of people.